There he is. There he is. Hey, Earl, thanks for joining me today, man. How you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. How are you?
Yeah, doing very well, thanks. Doing very well. I was doing my best to make sure I got a nice shirt on for you. I wanted to dress it up. We're at home today, but we wanna be ready for the day, and really just excited to be able to hop on this with you. I know we'd spoken a little bit prior, and I didn't want to jump into asking you too many questions to start because I really wanted to just share all this information with you live with the viewers who are tuning in. So thanks again. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thanks to you, Play MPE, to Kate, and Terrence, and anyone that helped to make this connection.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Terrence, tell us a little bit more about Terrence. Who's Terrence? I know, but maybe it's
Okay.
so.
So, for those who don't know, Terrence, his name is Terrence Howell. He is actually the CEO, president of Revival Music Company, great company that help artists, independent artists mainly, through radio marketing platforms. And it's because of him that we're connected to you guys at Play MPE. And we definitely thank God for Terrence.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Terrence, for making this work and making Earl be our next guest on this IG Live. Really excited. And as some of you may have seen, we played Earl's track that was promoted through Play MP, which is "Safe in His Arms." So, Earl, tell us a little bit more about "Safe in His Arms."
Safe in His Arms is a song that basically it talks about, and you can put it with anything that you're going through, any struggle, any situation that you may have. Just know that you're safe in the arms of Jesus, basically. That's why it says, I'm not worried about what tomorrow brings. I'm safe in His arms. And, we shouldn't worry. Let tomorrow take care of itself. And that's basically what it's saying. And then I'm not worried about what Satan may throw my way. I know that I'm safe in his arms. So that's what that song is literally about. And I thank God for George Tyler out of Indianapolis, who actually is the creator and writer of that particular song.
Shout out George. Shout out
Yeah.
George. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, well, with everything going on right now, I think this is a great message to really get out there because there's a lot. There's a lot to really take in. 2020 hasn't been the easiest year to really get started with everything that's just been going on in the world. So I think this message is just clear, and it really helps like show people that if sometimes you can put your faith into something a little bit bigger than yourself, whether that be Jesus or just believing in yourself, really
Right,
you're
exactly.
going to be
Exactly.
taken care of, right? Sometimes we like to plan ahead, but we can only plan so much, right? We got to
That's right.
be present and really enjoy what we have going on for us right now. So this is why I'm so excited to have you here with us
I'm,
specifically, Carl. And
and
I know
I'm
we're
excited to be here. And you're exactly right. All we can do is plan, and of course, if we have a strong faith and belief, then says faith without works is dead. How else? But it also says now faith is the substance of things not seen. So I can't see tomorrow, but I have to have faith that tomorrow is going to be okay.
absolutely, absolutely. I couldn't say it much better than that. I'm an Aquarian, and I'm pretty much I just
I'm
go
an
with the flow.
Aquarian. Come
Are
on,
you?
sir.
No way, no way.
Yeah,
There we go.
I
Aquarian brother,
knew I
man.
liked you. I knew I liked you.
Amazing, amazing, Earl. And I also want, since we're talking about Terrence a little bit as well, I also wanted to mention that we do have an upcoming gospel music promotions and technology panel coming up next Tuesday, June 30th, where Terrence will be involved on that as well with another group of panelists as well, a total of 4 people. So it's going to be great. So make sure you tune into that as well next week, guys. But
Yes.
again, we'll come back to Earl because the focus is on you, man. Been really
Okay.
looking forward to this all week. So I really wanted to get to know a little bit more about you and just a
Okay.
little bit more about how you ended up hearing about Playing PI. I know you mentioned Terrence, but tell us about like your first experiences and what you've experienced thus far with Playing P and servicing your content.
Okay, with Play MPE, it has been amazing, especially again, Terrence introduced me to it. I've been in the music industry for a while, but I didn't know much about Play MPE. I knew much about, radio itself and BDS and media base and all of those things. And Terrence was sharing about Play MPE, and he said, that's how I'm going to promote your record with Play MPE. I'm like, okay, cool. If you say it works, it works.
I trust you.
And it has really been a great experience with Terrence being able to connect with those, especially those announcers and PDs. and to see who has downloaded, streamed, or played, or added, and all of that, and has been amazing. And for him to be able to share that with me as an artist has been enlightening too. So I would be able, if so desired, to reach out to a station and say, "Hey, thank you for playing Safe in His Arms by me." You know, I mean,
Absolutely.
so right. So it has actually opened my eyes to be able to understand the process of how the record actually is working, and for Terrence to not be selfish and want to share that with his artists is also amazing. So Play MPE, I mean, I'm 100% Play MPE. It's amazing.
Amazing. And that's one of my favorite parts about the platform. Whenever I get to share that sort of information with any of our incoming clients, letting them know that we have reporting to make the whole process really transparent, let you know that we'll show exactly who's actually spending time with your release. And that's where you really want to prioritize your outreach. So it helps, of course, if you are yourself an artist reaching out independently, but if you have a team, it just makes it so that the whole process is nice and streamlined, but full transparency, so you know exactly who to be like, "Hey, I saw that you spent some time with Safe in Your Arms. What'd you think? Let me know." And
Yeah.
I love that you really enjoy that part of the platform as well.
It is amazing, and other interviews are coming out of that. So I have an interview tomorrow with a radio station that follow you out of Jamaica. So I'm like, oh wow,
amazing.
My phone rang and it was actually the PD from Jamaica. I'm like, wow.
Wow.
So, so even something as big as that, I'm like, wow, this is really amazing. So, I mean, thank you so much. I mean, even you and Kate for allowing me to be on this platform. I mean, I could not have done that without connecting to Play MPE.
Absolutely. Well, it's our pleasure to have you, and we look forward to just seeing this release just get even more engagement. And who knows who'll be calling you next. Jamaica's the start, but who knows where that next phone call will come from.
That's right.
So really excited for you. Really excited for you, Earl. So that's great. So I'd love to hear a little bit more about this story. I know we talked about it in our intro call, but something about babysitters and business partnership relationship. Terrence, tell me a little bit more about that.
Understood. For those who don't know, we talked about Terrence in the beginning. Again, his name is Terrence Howell. He is the president of Revival Music Company, which is a marketing and radio company. They do everything, though, from marketing to radio servicing, creating websites, and all of that. So just a great company. And actually, it's funny because Terrence is the president of the label and the founder. And I used to babysit this dude when he was young. I was young too, so.
Right, we all got to take turns.
I actually used to babysit him. And years from that, we went on, and I was director, for those who don't know, I was director of choir at Old Dominion University in Norfolk, Virginia. And so Terrence was actually in high school at that time. And I reached out to him. I said, "Hey, you want to play drums for me at the university?" And he was like, "Sure." And he became my drummer. And now I'll become his client.
Look at that full circle. I guess you must have been a really good babysitter. That must have been it.
I tried to be.
Yeah, there you go. Amazing. Well, sometimes things just come full circle like that. People come in and out of your life for particular reasons. Some stay a little bit longer than others, but living in the present and really enjoying the time you have with those people that are close to you is really important. It just seems like that relationship that you have with Terrence has really just blossomed from that early stage in your guys' lives to take you where you are now.
It really did. And then even another story with that, Terrence's mom, their family have a group. It's his mom and his mom's sisters and brothers, and they're called the Scots, and they're one of the families in Southern gospel music. So this was during the time, I guess, I was babysitting Terrence. I also played piano. So I went on tour with the Scots, which is his family group.
Oh, wow.
And I was a piano player on tour for 3 months. And we were like with the Kingsmen and the Carpenters and so many others. It was just amazing.
That's fantastic. Yeah. So at what age were you doing your very first tour? Was that?
I was 2.
It's just a part of who you are. It's just a
I
part of who
don't
you
know.
are.
I was probably about, I had to be about 22, 23.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And was that when you were playing the piano with the Scots?
Yes, I played. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know if that's what you were asking. You said, how long have I been playing?
Oh, at what age? At what age did
Oh,
you
I
start?
started at 6. I started at
Okay.
6. Yeah.
Wow.
My parents realized, they said that I had some talent, some gift. My mom said I would crawl up to a table and act like I'm playing. So they bought me a piano at 6, and by ear, I trained myself and played
Wow.
my first song at 6 years old, and
Wow.
continued until I took lessons later in life.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So it was just from an early age, that
Yeah,
support from your parents really helped kind of just blossom that
yeah,
love, that passion for music, which is
it,
always great to hear.
it really did. It really
That's
did.
amazing. That's amazing. I definitely wanted to make sure we touched on that babysitting story. 'Cause that was so great. That was just so amazing.
I didn't change diapers though.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. There, you just call someone
No,
else
he,
real quick or get them to change it
he was
themselves.
actually not a baby, but yeah, yeah,
Well, you mentioned you were both kids, so hopefully
right,
he
right,
wasn't in the diaper
exactly.
at that point anymore. But also, congratulations with "Safe in His Arms." You know, Terrence actually shared with us recently that I believe it was just a couple weeks ago in June, where you actually charted number 6 on the Billboard Gospel's most added chart.
Yeah,
Congratulations, man!
thank you,
Congratulations.
thank
That's
you.
just so exciting.
It is, it is. Lots of work, and then I'll tell people, even in this industry, you have to be patient. It's not overnight. It takes time. It just didn't happen. It happened because there was a plan. So you have to have a plan.
Absolutely, absolutely. As much as we are Aquarians and like to just go with the flow,
Right.
that's sometimes where we got to bring in that other person to help set up that plan
Exactly.
for us, right? It helps, absolutely. So tell us a little bit more about some other successes that you've either had with this track or some of your previous ones.
There was another track called Call Him. Andre Cross actually wrote that song. He, myself, and Terrence are all from Franklin, Virginia,
No
which
way.
is surrounded by Tidewater, Hampton Roads, for those who know that area, Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Hampton, all of that area. So he wrote a song called Call Him, and we had some success with that. And another song was not Safe in His Arms, but This Song Is For You.
Mm,
And that song is basically a song geared towards Jesus, saying, actually wrote a song to him, basically.
there you go.
And so this song is for you. From previous recordings, there was a record called Open My Heart, My Change Has Come, which I did with a group that I started in college. And that was nominated for 2 Gospel Stellar Music Awards. And then another record after that was the Mount Unity Choir, where I am the worship pastor there. And I was put in the position to be the producer of an entire record
Oh,
and
wow.
about church choir. And that record was nominated for 3 Stellar Music Awards, and it actually won Contemporary Choir of the Year. So we did win that Stellar, yeah.
Oh,
And
amazing.
that record also won the Texas Music Awards, a couple of them. Yeah, so just excited about that. And with
Absolutely.
that, TV exposure from INSP, which is an inspirational TV network, not ESPN, that's sports.
That's the next venture. That's the
Right.
next venture.
The Word Network, BET, Dr. Bobby Jones, which have for years, for those who don't know, has had the longest running gospel TV show for
Wow.
artists. So that platform was amazing, and it's
Wow.
called the Bobby Jones Show on BET. And he started with BET and ran it for 30 years. So had the opportunity to appear on that at least 5 times. So that has been amazing,
Wow.
and was honored to be one of the guests for his closing season. So that was amazing, and so it has. I've had a good career. I can't, I'm thankful.
Yeah, and when you started this journey, did you think it would get to this point?
Well, I didn't know where it was going.
Yeah.
Someone said to me one time, Earl, when do you stop working? I said, you don't. You keep moving. Just keep moving. Because I think if you settle in what you have done, you may settle and never move anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
You stop that momentum that's really
Yeah.
helped project you into a next chapter of whether that be your career or your life. And sometimes,
Oh, I
those stay for a while until you find
right.
that next chapter. But absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, that statement was, when do you know you have arrived? I say you don't.
Mm,
You keep
mm.
working. And that's how we got there.
There you go. There you go. No,
Yeah.
words to live by. Absolutely, right? Words to live
Yes,
by.
sir.
Sure. So, okay, next question I have written down here is what's next for you as far as your own music goes? Because we understand that you have started a record label, which I mentioned you are the CEO of. So tell me a little bit more about that and what's it called, just so our viewers will be able to.
Okay. The record label is L Ray Entertainment. That's L-R-A-E, which is Earl spelled backwards. Now, people say, well, how did you come up with that? I want to say it was really my idea,
Yeah.
actually, but it was Oprah Winfrey.
Oh,
Oprah. She has
shout out
her
to
own
Oprah.
company called Hoppo, which is Oprah spelled backwards. So from that, El Ray Earl. So it just made sense. And so my son, he's an artist, and he wanted to do some things, and I'm like, okay, cool. So let's create this record label and let's make it happen. And we did. So he was my first artist I signed, and he wrote a song from the label, a song actually out of going through a bad divorce. And it's called Amazed. I Am Amazed. And it just talks about the amazement of God. And then my grandson having autism, that was written out of that as well. And then his second song was a remake of Days of Elijah. And both of them had some good radio time. So,
Wow.
like, cool, let's do this. And then, so my second artist I signed last year, and I'm so excited about him because Play MPE carries him as well. His name is Andrew Kurtz, and the song is Mile After Mile, and he's doing quite well by way of Play MPE as well. So I'm excited about that. And that's basically how the label came about.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So that's a couple artists signed, but that's just the start, right?
Yeah.
Getting some successes to start. And I mean, as you mentioned, like sometimes it's a really long process. You don't always get those successes right off the bat. Sometimes it takes months, sometimes years, but to see that that's already been happening for some of these artists that you have on board, including your son, it's great. It's great to see because it shows that, quality of content and making sure you hone in on your craft is really going to help establish yourself and just set yourself apart from anybody else. And if you have a story that comes with that, we all love to connect through stories and storytelling, and music is just another form of that. So that's great to hear.
And the other piece of that, you have creative control, when it's your own.
Absolutely.
And then you build, if you're thinking about long-term, you're building legacy for your family so it can continue.
Exactly. So with that being said, do you have any other children who are going to be jumping into the same sort of realm as you as well?
That's it. And I told him he's going to control everything.
Well, I'm sure, you've set quite the example for him to really just know which directions to really go in, making sure that he's present and enjoying the whole process, because sometimes we get too caught up in thinking about where we would like to be as opposed to being there present in the moment. So I think he's only going to have more opportunities present themselves, especially having you as a mentor and Terrence as well to help guide along the way. So that's really exciting to see, and I'm really looking forward to seeing some more stuff coming out of Larray.
Oh, definitely, because Asan, his name is Asan, Asaun, and you will be hearing from him soon. He's about to go in the studio and make something happen.
There you go. And I guess how has it been going with getting into the studio and everything because of everything with COVID? I know there's been more limitations lately.
Well, it's funny you said that. Just today, Terrence and I kind of text each other, or he texted me and my son, and he was like, "When you want to go in the studio? Give me some dates." So it's now.
There we go.
We're gonna figure it out and try to make it work.
Great, exciting, super exciting. Who doesn't love going into the studio as an artist? Just being in that environment. Really getting those creative juices flowing, set some candles, get the mood going, right?
There you go.
That's very exciting. So you said you are a promoting artist, Asan and Andrew Kurtz,
Yep.
How did you end up meeting him? Of course, your son you met through.
Actually, right, my son. But Andrew Kurtz, actually, I'm also the co-founder of a conference called the IGAA, which is Independent Gospel Artists Alliance Conference. That conference actually reaches out to artists, and we're in our 10th year this year. And because of
Congratulations.
COVID, thank you, we're going to do it virtually because we have artists who have signed up for it. So we're going to do it virtually. And we also have an award show attached to it, which this is our second year for the IGAA Music Awards for independent artists. And you must be an independent artist in order
Wow.
to attend and share. And so at any rate, we give the artists sessions during the day, and they have platforms at night where they can perform and showcases. And we also break it down. Coming back to my phone, was having where you have a one-on-one with anyone in the music industry where they can sit down and listen to your music and give you the next step. So the conference is based on helping the artist get to the next step. Well, happened to have Andrew Kurtz. He was there. He sang, and I was like, I gotta have him.
Yeah.
And so my sister, she was there at the time, and she was like, he's good. You should talk to him. So right after the conference or during the conference, we had a conversation, and it was just so great because his parents was there with him. So got to talk to them along with him. And we just bonded at that time. And probably about 2 weeks after that, we met. He stays about 3 hours from us in Raleigh, North Carolina area. And we met and shared, and everybody was in agreement. And of course, brought Terrence right on into that.
There you go.
And say, let's make this thing happen. And that's really what happened. That's how we met.
Wow. Wow. Sometimes things just connect like that, right? And having the opportunity to hear him showcase himself as an artist with that conference that you yourself set up is just so amazing, because you're, of course, providing more opportunities for independence.
Yes.
And not often that independents feel as though they have the right platform. So being able to have something like that is great, because that's where you just make more of a community and get really everyone involved, helping to support one another. And that's just fantastic to hear. That's so great. And congratulations again on the 10-year anniversary. There you go. So exciting. So did you start that on your own?
I didn't. A young man named Philip Carter, we started it together. And how I actually got into it, he was like, hey, Earl, I want to do a conference and I don't know what to have it. I'm like, have it at my church. And he was like, because he's in Washington, D.C. area.
Okay.
And so he couldn't find a church there, close to the airport, hotels and all of that.
Yeah.
And so we just happen to be in a central place where you're close pretty much to everything. And he said, okay, I want to do it, but I need a co-sponsor or a co-founder. So let's do it together. And I said, sure. So he created the platform. I became the co-founder along with him. And that's where we are today. There
you go. Amazing. Yeah. And that's you again being like, here, let's do something, man. I love your idea. I want to help support this.
Yeah.
It's just, it's fantastic to see music bringing people together. I know that's always the case, but it's always great to hear stories like that as well.
Thank you. Yeah. Awesome.
Absolutely. So, of course, with all of those things going on, I'm sure you're super busy, but of course, extremely talented. And you also are the founder of, I guess that we just talked about the Gospel Alliance and Conference, but can you tell our viewers about the conference and when that date is again, just to reiterate?
Sure. Yes. It's actually in about 2 weeks. It's called the IGAA. You can go to www.indiegospelalliance.com. That's indiegospelalliance.com. Get more information. You can still sign up if you so choose for the virtual sessions for the conference. And you can watch live on all the platforms from YouTube, IG, Instagram, Twitter. We'll be on all of them, and Facebook on July 10th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern will be the live virtual IGAA Music Awards.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Very exciting. Very exciting. So I'm going to look through a couple of the questions that we have here to see what our crowd's really looking to ask from you. So I guess we got some from Kate here. Okay. And I know we touched on it a little bit already, but Is there anything else about Terrence that since you guys are so close? The question here was, how did you originally meet Terrence? Um,
Actually, our families are already connected.
oh wow, okay,
We're just close. We're from not a large town or city. Franklin is not very large, maybe 10,000 people, if that. And
okay,
so our families know of each other. My mom sings, my dad sings, his family sings, all of them sing, mom, dad, all of them. So we pretty much were in the same areas or platforms because my mom also was in a group called the Sunbeam Singers, and they traveled around the country. And my
wow,
dad was in a group called the Gospel Travelers, and they traveled around the country. And Terrence family, so they were often on the same stage.
no
And
kidding.
we didn't live far from each other, and we fellowshipped a lot together. Being in church, our churches fellowship, so that's
Mm,
how we knew each other.
wow, well,
Yeah,
it kind of seemed like everything was really just pushing itself for you two to get closer and closer, and
yeah,
that's just amazing. That's just
it was
amazing.
awesome. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you for the question, Kate. We have another one here from Rock Paper Scissors 3000. Earl, the question is, Earl, how long have you been singing? How did you get started?
I've been singing probably at least a little over 40 years, you guys. Okay.
Yeah, there
As I
you
said,
go.
uh, yeah, probably at least 47 years I've been singing or more.
Wow.
My mom and dad, they were singing, they
Yeah,
were singers. And so it was just, music was just in the house.
of
So
course.
it was just, it became a part of you. And didn't know it was going to end up this way, but I loved what I did. I loved music. And I just continued to sing. So yeah, singing a long time.
Yeah, I mean, having it be in the household so prominently like that, I don't know if you even had much of a choice. It was just that was going to be part of you no matter what, whichever avenue you ended up exploring in life. So
Yeah. Yeah,
that's a
because even my sister, I have a sister, she sang, and she won the talent portion of the Virginia Miss Teen talent. So
wow,
Virginia, the state of Virginia. So I mean, it
wow.
yeah, talent. And then she married a musician and singer. I mean, like, yeah. So it's amazing. It's amazing.
Amazing, amazing. I guess, and when you first started off, I guess it's just a question that's coming as we're rolling with it. When you first started getting into music, what were some like key artists that were some of your inspirations?
Oh wow. One key was back then Andre Crouch. I don't know if people know him, but he has hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of songs. Have done a lot with Bill Gaither and so many others. But Andre Crouch, the Hawkins, which is Walter and Edwin Hawkins, a family out of Oakland, California, that just they are the original originators of "Oh Happy Day,
Oh,
Oh
I love that
Happy
song.
Day." So that's the Hawkins. And so
Wow.
they were my influence. The late Thomas Whitfield from Detroit, Michigan, was an influence. So they were most of my influences. Those three were just major influences. And the
Okay.
late James Cleveland, just because he was a choir guy who started a large music convention for choirs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic. I mean, talking about choirs and Oh Happy Day, the first time I'd ever heard that song was watching Sister Act.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that was one of my favorite movies growing up with
Wow.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Yes.
Just how she brought people together with music and got people to sing, and like those people who had that voice in them really pulled it out and got them to just fully, appreciate their gift and share it. So that's my earliest memory of that song.
Yeah.
So
And
I'm
you know,
writing down the Hawkins so I can go back and
the
listen to
Hawkins,
stuff
yes.
like that.
Edwin Hawkins is the writer.
Edwin
Edwin
Hawkins,
Hawkins. But yeah,
man,
because music is universal, you know, and it
absolutely.
does it just brings people together. It soothes the heart. I mean, it's amazing what music can do.
Absolutely, absolutely. That if you haven't already seen it, viewers, go watch Sister Act 1 and 2. You have to watch them both because amazing music in there. And it's not just about, teaching about Jesus and just him as a human being, but it's just about getting people together, really coming
Yes.
together with the same goal in mind to help. There's a lot of community base around that as well, and I would highly recommend if you have the time to go view that, and you'll be able to
Exactly.
hear that song "Oh Happy Day," which has
Oh
an
yeah. Oh yeah.
amazing vocal solo in there as well. If you haven't already heard that, which is
Right.
fantastic. I love that movie.
You know, speaking of Oh Happy Day, let me say this real quick.
Yeah, please.
The original soloist of Oh Happy Day, I actually had the opportunity to meet her in August of last year.
No kidding.
I was brought into Sacramento, California, to do a music workshop, and the music workshop consisted of me teaching sessions and doing a big choir teaching of music. And so they brought her in as the guest soloist for Oh Happy Day because last year, 2019, was the 50th anniversary of Oh Happy Day being released and created.
Wow.
So the original soloist, Dorothy Cromes, she was there, and we got to meet and take pictures. And it was amazing that I directed the choir, and she led the 50th year anniversary of Oh Happy Day. So it was amazing.
Wow. Wow. What an opportunity. What an
Yeah.
opportunity. Like, were you able to pick her brain a little bit and get some more of her backstory when you were speaking?
Yes, the thing is, she talked about Oh Happy Day, and she said that there was a choir that was started by Edwin Hawkins, of course, who wrote the song, and they were having a Monday night rehearsal. And one of her girlfriends said, "Hey, come go with me to rehearsal." She said, "I'm not going to no rehearsal." And so she ended up going, and her girlfriend told Edwin, "Hey, this girl can sing." And he was like, "Well, I know of you because your family sings."
Hmm.
And so he said, "I have a song I want you to sing." And he was like, "Oh Happy Day." And she said the original version of Oh Happy Day that he was singing was like the hymn Oh Happy Day. And she was like, "I don't like that." And he said that no, it's those same words, but I have redone the song, and showed him. And she ended up being the soloist for the song. She said the night that they recorded, he didn't have a verse and told her to write a quick verse. So she went to the audience and talked to her brother. Her brother wrote something on a piece of paper. She said literally on a napkin. She went up and sang the words that was on the napkin, and that's
Wow.
how the song was created. So
My
amazing.
goodness. No, that's amazing. Who would have thought that all that out of just chance,
Right.
someone recognized the talent that she had and
Yes.
wanted to just be like, you need to just come to this rehearsal. And lo and behold, 50 years later, this song still has, it's international.
It's amazing. And so I think it was Christmas. We were home, and my dad was pulling out our records, and he pulled out a 45, the original Oh Happy Day. I took a picture and sent it to him. That was amazing with her name there. I'm like,
No
wow.
kidding.
Yeah. So that was awesome.
Wow. Oh, that's so amazing. That's so amazing. Oh, well, Earl, I'm going through my questions list here, and
Sure.
I think we've gone through most of it. We don't really have a whole lot of questions left from the audience, but if you guys have any questions, please feel free to toss them in. Earl and I are here for a little bit longer before Earl has his next appointment. Earl's a busy guy, so when you can, please make sure you can get those questions in there. There will be some additional swag included to the people who answer or ask the first few questions. But Earl, I'd love to hear a little bit more about, I guess, just what you have upcoming. Like, what's the rest of 2020 got for you?
I see one question came through, said, how many world tours have Earl been on?
There you go.
I've actually had 22 world tours, and they've been amazing in the countries of Spain, Italy, Switzerland, Denmark, and Japan.
Wow.
And, so I've had 22. I'm also an international booking agent that I send independent artists over as well. And I've been doing that for a little over 10 years. And I love doing that because it gives me the opportunity to reach out to talent and to give them the opportunity to travel someplace they may have never gone.
Absolutely.
And the tours consist of at least 10 different cities while you're over in Europe. And it's just like any tour you would see here. It's city after city after city after city, hotel after hotel after hotel, bus, long miles. So, but it is amazing. Italy is my second home, I would say, because Ravigo, Italy is where the company is located that I deal with, Area Ravis. And when they brought me in after doing about 10 years, how I got the position of being an international booking agent for the tours as well is because the young man that got me over, he passed away, and they were looking for someone else to take over. And they were like, "Well, Earl, can you do it for us?" I'm like, "Sure, I like helping people, so it doesn't matter. You know, I'll do this.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that's
wow.
how that. So if you're out there and you're an artist and you want to go overseas, hit me up.
There you go. You heard it here first, people. Hit up
Right.
Earl direct. Hit up Earl
Exactly.
direct. Don't forget to go look at him on his Instagram too at Earl
Please
Bynum.
like my Instagram. I need some more followers, okay?
Yeah.
Also like Play MPE. Go and like and follow them as well, okay?
There we go.
Go to my Facebook artist pages, Earl Bynum Music. I'm going to just put it all out there. And yes,
Yeah.
I still have Twitter, Earl Bynum. Okay?
There we go. Those are all the socials. Make sure you get on all of those and add Earl on there, like, follow, all those things.
Exactly.
We got another couple questions here as well.
Okay.
How did you become international?
Wow.
From a J Form 3.
Okay. Actually, the young man was Tim Green. His name was Tim Green. And if you ever heard of Wynton Marsalis, some of you may have heard of him, great musician. Tim and Wynton Marsalis actually went to school together at Berkeley. But Tim and his family, his mom, they stayed across the street from my grandmother. And so Tim said to my mom one day, hey, do you think Earl, I'm a junior, I'm named after my dad. So he said, you think Earl Jr. would want to go, do over in Europe, do some tour? She said, just ask him. He asked me, and I had to put together a cassette back then for those.
Oh.
We didn't always have downloads, you guys. It's crazy, okay? I had to put a cassette together, and on the cassette, I had to do 3 songs. And one was one I wrote, one was an Amazing Grace, and the third was Oh Happy Day. He sent it over to Europe to the company in Rovigo, Italy. They liked it. They booked me, and I have been going every year ever since. And it has been truly amazing. And that's how it happened.
Again, through those networks from your grandma.
Right.
All this into working to essentially just, put you exactly where you wanted to be going, or giving you other opportunities to explore through your network, through community, through just wanting to help others. All of that just really comes together as like the general theme of wanting to help and support one another. And that's just amazing. Yeah.
And me being who I am, I mean, Dave, if it was you and you got the call and you say, I need some singers. Okay, I'm going. No, let's go. I don't have to be the front man. I love pushing and seeing other people's dreams come to life. I love that. I don't mind being the front man, but I don't have to be the front man.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Eventually, it's going to come to a point where you want to pass that torch.
Exactly.
And that's the same for myself here at Play MPE in terms of, seeing more people come into our platform, giving them all the information, getting them to that stage in their career, because hopefully that's what this platform can really help assist with, is getting to the next chapter in their career and helping propel them forward, because there's so many opportunities out there.
It is.
But with Play MPE, we really help push you to those people who can help you and be those decision makers to assist you with getting you further along in your career.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. And we got, I guess, one more question from Gina. She asks, are you ever planning a Canadian leg of your tour?
Listen, if you can connect me with someone, I would love to do it. I promise. It is not a problem. I will come. I'm sure Terrence will come. We'll tell Dave.
We'll all be there.
Yeah. Kate, everybody, let's just go. But yeah, I would love to do it. Matter of fact, speaking of that, on my record, you have Safe in His Arms, but the entire record is called This Song Is For You. So it's 10 songs on the record. One of those songs is a song that's written by a Canadian. He's from Canada. He wrote the song. Great guy. And so I'm excited about that. So we have been talking about some, doing some stuff, but we haven't yet. But if we come, of course, we'll have to sing his song.
There you go. Shout out to a fellow Canadian.
Yeah.
Shout out to a fellow Canadian.
Definitely.
And we have another question from J Form 3. She's asking, tell us about On Stage with Earl Bynum.
Wow. On Stage with Earl Bynum is a radio show. It's a syndicated radio show for independent artists. I have had this show probably about now a little over 15 years. It
Wow.
started out as a local station just in the Virginia area, and it's a part of Musical Soul Food Radio Network, which is in about 40 markets across the USA.
Wow.
And it's about a little over 100 stations that carry the format in some form of the show. So my show is called On Stage with Earl Bynum. My co-host is recording artist Lucinda Moore as well. And it's a 2-hour show every Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Saturday. And you can go to www.musicalsoulfood.com. That's musicalsoulfood.com. Listen on any given Saturday. And again, it's for independent artists to give them that platform. It is syndicated. You can download the Musical Soul Food app, or you can say, Alexa, pull up Earl Bynum On Stage with Earl Bynum.
For those of you who have fully integrated your home into new technologies, just ask Alexa.
Right.
Well, amazing, Earl. I really appreciate you spending some time with us this afternoon. Before we wrap up, was there anything else that you wanted to share with the people still viewing us?
Well, again, you can follow me. I hope some of you are liking my Instagram now. Please just like it. You don't have to like me, just like Instagram, okay? So that's Earl Bynum, Like Play MPE. Don't forget that. My Facebook page, please go there. The artist page is Earl Bynum Music, because there are some things I'll be doing that I share there that I don't share anywhere else, and I want you to be a part of it. And to anyone that's watching, thank you so much. Thank you to Play MPE. Thank you to Dave. Thank you to Kate. Thank you to Terrence and anyone else that were a part of this team. I appreciate it, because you didn't have to choose me to be a part of your second. So this is history making for me.
Here we go.
With you. So I'm excited. And remember, regardless of where you go and regardless of who you meet, can't nobody beat you being you. So be the best you that you can be.
Amazing. Amazing, Earl. I love that. I love that. Thanks so much for spending your afternoon or your, I guess, early evening with us. Again, it's been a pleasure to have you. All the best with this upcoming year, with the conference and with the Safe in His Arms, number 6 on the Billboard charts. Let's see it go up higher, man. Let's see it go up higher. Okay, everybody, get on those. Get your local station. Ask for Safe in His Arms by Earl Bynum. Don't forget, as he mentioned, to follow him in all his social accounts, at Earl Bynum on Instagram. And thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by. Stay safe, be well, treat others kindly, and we'll be with you guys again soon, okay? Take care, Earl. Thanks so much for being here, man.
Thank you. Thank you to all radio announcers that's watching PDs. Thank you. Love you.
Take care, guys. Thanks, Earl.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.